Peace was a beautiful young woman, full of life but lost in the world. With no parents, no home, and no one to lean on, she found herself working as a bar attendant just to survive. Every night, she smiled at strangers, hiding the emptiness in her heart. One evening, a young man named Emeka walked in. His voice was calm, his eyes kind. For the first time in a long while, someone noticed her pain. She told him everything, her loneliness, her struggles, her fears. Emeka, touched by her story, decided to help. He took her to meet his male neighbor, a man who lived alone and had space for her to stay. Peace was grateful. That first night, the silence between them was heavy. One look led to another. One touch led to a moment she couldn't take back. They shared the bed. It wasn't love, it was comfort mixed with confusion. By morning, regret filled her heart. She begged him that it should never happen again, but he refused. He told her she was beautiful and that he couldn't stop. From that day, it happened again and again until her heart grew tired and her body heavy with the consequences. Weeks later, Peace discovered she was pregnant. Her world crumbled. She didn't love the man, she only stayed because she had nowhere else to go. With no support, she decided to end it. But the man gave her a strange native drink before she could even go to the woman who helped with abortions. The moment she drank it, her body grew weak. She couldn't move. Pain shot through her stomach. It was her friend who found her that way, pale, sweating, and crying. Her friend rushed her to the woman who had helped her before, and by some miracle, she survived. But the scars were deeper than anyone could see. Later, she got close to Emeka, the same man who had introduced her to the man she was living with. Emeka said he wanted to help her again, but his intentions were selfish. One afternoon, when the air was still and the house quiet, he took advantage of her vulnerability. Emeka lived in the same compound with his fiancée, and when she found out, everything changed. The fiancé grew bitter and hateful. Whispers followed Peace wherever she went. The house became unbearable, and with nowhere else to go, she packed her things and left again. Peace returned to an older woman she once stayed with, praying for safety and peace. But the woman's son had other plans. He made advances towards her, and when she refused, his anger turned violent. He beat her, cursed her, called her ungrateful. She did all the chores, washing, cooking, cleaning, yet every night she lived in fear of his footsteps. The old woman turned a blind eye. Peace cried quietly, holding on to the little strength she had left. Every day was a test of survival. Her mind told her to leave, but her heart feared the streets. She had no one. Only God knew how many nights she cried herself to sleep, whispering prayers for deliverance. When she finally escaped that house, she went to live with another man, hoping once again that things would get better. In the compound, she met a young man who seemed kind and gentle. He made her laugh, called her my peace, and for once she believed she could be loved. But soon his real nature appeared. He was possessive, hot-tempered, and controlling. The beating started small, then became constant. Still, she stayed, convincing herself it would change. Months passed and she found out she was pregnant again. Fear ran through her veins. She had ended pregnancies before, and this time she couldn't bring herself to do it again. She decided to keep it. But her hope came with heartbreak. The man who was supposed to love her turned colder. He shouted, hit her, and complained about everything, especially money. Still, she held on, believing that maybe, just maybe, love could heal what pain had broken. Peace now had 2 children. Innocent souls who looked up to her as their whole world. But life didn't get easier. The father of her children barely provided, never paid her bride price, and refused to visit her family. She lived in a small one-room apartment, the kind where every noise echoed and every tear felt heavy. But each morning she woke up, looked at her children and told herself, I will not give up. She worked tirelessly, doing anything she could to feed them. There were days they went to bed hungry, nights filled with tears, and mornings filled with new worries. Yet, through it all, she remained strong. Her story was not just one of pain, it was one of courage. She had faced betrayal, abuse,
and heartbreak, but still found the strength to stand. Peace may not have everything, but she has her will to fight and a heart that refuses to stop believing in better days.